You know, sometimes the most brilliant designs are hidden in the simplest packages. Today, we're going to deconstruct a piece of media you've probably scrolled past 100 times, just a basic cartoon for toddlers. But trust me, underneath that surface, we're about to uncover a surprisingly sophisticated and powerful educational engine. So let's dive in and break down the hidden genius of a simple cartoon.
And here it is. This is our source material. This one single enthusiastic line from a kid's cartoon, that's what we're going to analyze today. It sounds almost ridiculously simple, right? But what if I told you that this sentence and everything that comes after it is an absolute masterclass in how to teach something effectively? Let's get into it.
Okay, so before you can teach anything, you have to build a world. You need a foundation, some context, for all that new information to actually stick to. And the creators of this little cartoon, they get this perfectly. It all starts with setting the stage.
Now, what's so cool here is just how logical this all is. First up, we get the what, the tractor. It's kind of our main character. Then we get the where, the farm. And finally, the why, the destination, the barn where all the animals are going. In just a few seconds, the video has built a complete, coherent little universe for a child.
And this is the key right here. By giving the journey a purpose, getting those animals to the barn, the video provides a really clear mental framework. It creates a narrative, a story, and that structure makes it so much easier for a young brain to organize and remember all the information that's about to come. It's not just a random list of things, it's a story.
All right, so the context is set. The stage is ready. Now we get to the core of the lesson, where the primary data, if you will, is delivered to the viewer. This is where the learning really starts to kick into high gear.
The video now just systematically introduces 13 different animals. This is classic, incredibly effective education. It uses the power of repetition and association. For every single animal, a kid sees the image, they hear the name, and they usually hear the sound it makes too. That multisensory approach is just so powerful for creating strong connections in the brain.
So what's actually happening here on a psychological level is the building of a schema. You can think of a schema as kind of like a mental filing cabinet. By showing all these animals in the context of a farm and a barn, the video is actively helping a child build their farm animal schema, organizing all this new info into a nice, neat, understandable category.
Okay, so far so good. We have a well-structured, repetitive lesson. It's solid, but it's still pretty passive, right? And this is where the video reveals its true genius. It introduces one tiny moment of conflict that completely changes the dynamic. It shifts everything from a lecture into a game.
This is the pivot. This simple phrase, uh-oh, wrong way, is honestly the most important moment in the entire clip. It's a deliberate, calculated mistake. Up to this point, the viewer's just been a spectator, but with these 4 little words, they are invited to become a participant. And you can really see that shift here. We move from the left column, passive learning, just watching and listening to the list of animals, over to the right column, active engagement. The video has created this tiny little problem that the child can immediately help solve. The question is no longer just, what is this animal? But hey, where does this animal go?
So you gotta ask, why do this? Why is introducing a small, solvable mistake such a critical learning tool? Well, it's because it totally transforms the entire experience. It taps into a child's natural desire to help out, to fix things, to bring order. It makes them lean in and pay way closer attention.
The answer, in one word, is engagement. This moment of gamification is the absolute key. It keeps them focused, it reinforces the information they just learned, and it starts to build these foundational problem-solving skills, all in this really fun, low-stakes environment. All of a sudden, the child isn't just a viewer anymore, they're a partner in getting the job done.
So as we start to wrap this up, let's just zoom out for a second and appreciate the sheer density of the educational content that was packed into this incredibly simple clip. It is so much more than just a list of animals.
I mean, when you actually count it all up, the video teaches more than 15 distinct concepts. You've got 13 animals, 1 vehicle, the tractor, and 1 location, the farm. But on top of all that, it introduces this interactive concept of problem solving. That is just an incredibly efficient piece of teaching.
So what we've seen is that this whole brilliant design really rests on 3 core pillars. First, it establishes context with that purposeful journey.
Second, it uses multi-sensory repetition to deliver the core info. And third, and maybe most importantly, it invites interaction through a simple little game, turning passive learning into active engagement.
And that leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? We often think that explaining complex ideas requires really complex methods. But maybe, just maybe, the opposite is true. If this level of thoughtful, simple design, context, repetition, and interaction can be so powerful for a developing mind, what lessons can we take from it when we need to explain our own complex ideas to our colleagues, our clients, or, well, to the world?